I've always loved hiking alone. There's a certain peace you can only find deep in the woods, miles away from any road, with just the sound of the wind and your own footsteps for company. I've been going to the same state forest for years, exploring its network of trails. I thought I knew every twist, every turn, every strange-looking rock formation. But one autumn afternoon, I discovered I didn't know the forest as well as I thought. The day started normally. The air was crisp, and the leaves were a brilliant tapestry of red, orange, and yellow. I was on a less traveled path, one that snaked deep into the oldest part of the woods. About an hour in, I got that feeling, you know the one. The prickly sensation on the back of your neck that says you're being watched. I slowed down, scanning the dense woods around me. Nothing, I shrugged it off. It was probably just a deer. I kept walking, but the feeling wouldn't go away. It grew stronger. I stopped again, and this time I forced myself to really look. I let my eyes adjust to the shadows and the dappled sunlight. And that's when I saw him. Maybe 100 feet ahead, just off the trail, stood a massive oak tree, and from behind its trunk someone was peering out at me. All I could see was the right side of a face. One eye, a cheekbone, a bit of hair. The stillness of it was what got me. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't another hiker taking a break. It was someone deliberately hiding, deliberately watching. My heart started hammering against my ribs. My first instinct was to turn and run. But curiosity, a stupid, dangerous curiosity, got the better of me. Who was this person? What were they doing out here? I decided to keep walking, to pretend I hadn't seen anything. I picked up my pace slightly, my eyes locked on the trail ahead. But out of the corner of my vision, I watched the oak tree. As I drew level with it, the head retracted, disappearing completely behind the trunk. A wave of relief washed over me. Maybe they were just shy. Maybe they were embarrassed to be caught staring. I walked on, trying to put it out of my mind. But the forest felt different now. The peaceful silence was replaced by a tense, waiting silence. Every rustle of leaves made me jump. I walked for another minute, maybe two. I passed a cluster of tall pines, and then I saw it again. Another tree, another face, the same side, the same silent observation. This time they were closer, maybe 80 feet away. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't just some weirdo I happened to stumble upon. This was intentional. Again, I forced myself to keep moving. I pretended to be engrossed in the scenery, but my mind was racing. What did this person want? Why were they following me like this? Every few steps I risked a glance. They were still there, half hidden, a motionless sentinel in the woods. As I passed the tree, the face vanished once more. This pattern continued. I'd walk for a minute and then I'd spot him. Behind a birch, behind a maple, behind a fallen log. And each time he was closer. 80 feet became 60, 60 became 40. The distance was shrinking with an unnerving precision. I never saw him move. I'd pass one tree, and when I looked for him again, he'd just be there, behind the next one, closer than before. It was like he was teleporting through the woods, playing a terrifying game of hide-and-seek where I was the unwilling participant. The fear was a physical thing now, a tight knot in my stomach. One had to get out of there. The trail looped back to the parking lot, but that was still a few miles ahead. The sun was starting to dip lower, casting long, menacing shadows through the trees. Turning back meant walking towards him, which was out of the question. My only option was to move forward, and to move forward fast. I broke into a jog. My boots pounded on the dirt path. My breath came in ragged gasps. I didn't dare look to the side anymore. I just focused on the trail, praying it would lead me out of this nightmare. But even without looking, I could feel him. I could feel his presence keeping pace with me, just beyond the edge of my vision. After what felt like an eternity of running, my lungs burning, I risked a look. There he was, not 40 feet away, not even 20. He was now just 10 feet off the trail. So close, I could see the details of his face now. Pale skin, a dark, sunken eye that seemed to hold no light, lank brown hair plastered to his forehead. He wasn't looking at me with curiosity or malice. He wasn't looking at me with anything. His expression was utterly, terrifyingly blank. Panic finally took over. I stopped jogging and started sprinting. I didn't care about the trail anymore. I crashed through the underbrush, branches whipping at my face. My only thought being to put as much distance as possible between me and the man behind the trees. I ran blindly, fueled by pure adrenaline. I tripped over roots, stumbled through creeks, and scrambled up hillsides. I didn't look back. I didn't want to know if he was still there, if he was closer, if he was finally out from behind his tree. I don't know how long I ran, but eventually I burst out of the woods and onto a paved road. I had never been so happy to see asphalt in my life. I collapsed onto the shoulder, gasping for air, my body shaking uncontrollably. I looked back at the tree line. The forest was dark and silent. There was no sign of him. I eventually made it back to my car and drove home, locking all the doors and windows. I haven't been back to that forest since. Sometimes late at night I wonder about the man behind the trees. Who was he? What would have happened if he had gotten closer? What would have happened if I had stopped? I don't have any answers. All I know is that some parts of the woods are meant to be left alone. And sometimes when you feel like you're being watched, you are.